Well, my journey with prayer started very young. I grew up in the church. I was in a household where prayer was important. It was essential. I joke all the time, but I had a mom who didn't come home and ask me if my homework was done. She came home and asked me if I had said my prayers and I did my devotion. So I grew up in an environment, in a context where the discipline of prayer was kind of nurtured into me. However, I didn't make it personal. It was something I did and not something that I really depended on for a large portion of my adolescent years. And it wasn't until I was in college that I had turned to prayer as a resource and tool to get me kind of out of the mess of my mind and the mess of my emotions that I was in. I tell the story often that my dad wasn't very active in my life because of drug addictions and being in and out of incarceration. And when he finally kind of kicked his addiction and was in a space where he could be more intentional about being involved in my life, he came home from prison. And when I was 18, he passed away. And so my senior year of high school kind of had the highest and lowest moments of my life. High school graduation, good thing. Going off to college, great thing. But losing my dad was really, really tough. So all throughout college, I tell people all the time that while I went to class at times, I still made a mess of my life. And it wasn't until I got to my breaking point and I reached out to a family member and my aunt, and she told me that you're not going to, she said, literally looked me in my face and said, James, you're not going to get through this unless you pray. And I knocked on that door of prayer, and somehow, some way, things began to change for me, and so that started it. And so now when my life gets chaotic, I run back to that early foundation of mine, which is prayer. And I've even learned how to not just exercise prayer when I need it, but exercise prayer when I think everything is all right. And that, I think, has definitely changed the trajectory of my life and helped me to manage a lot of moving parts.